Hello and welcome. I'm Vincent McCory. This is Africa 54. We begin in Nigeria, where beleaguered President Goodluck Jonathan is promising some relief for civilians displaced by Boko Haram's insurgency in northeastern Borno State. Mr. Jonathan, who is seeking re-election, made a visit to the state capital of Maiduguri Thursday. He has been criticized for not doing enough to push back the insurgency, the insurgents who earlier this month burned down homes in the area, forcing many to flee their homes for safety.
As a president, I feel traumatized whenever I hear about these excesses. I feel very burdened. But let me reassure all Nigerians and indeed internally displaced persons that government is working very hard to make sure that you don't stay in these camps for too long.
Well, Boko Haram's dominance in the northeast and the ongoing violence have raised doubts about whether voting in the February 14th presidential election can take place in the northeastern state. Meanwhile, Chad will send a large number of troops to neighboring Cameroon to help it fight increasing incursions from Boko Haram. Well, in less than 2 weeks, the militant group Boko Haram has seized a key military base in northeastern Nigeria, strapped a suicide bomb on a 10-year-old girl that killed 16 people, attacked another base in neighboring Cameroon, and directly threatened that country's president, Paul Biya. As Nigeria prepares for presidential elections next month, some wonder if voting will be possible in some parts of Nigeria with the rampant insecurity linked to the militant group. VOA's Mariama Diallo reports.
There was just a loud explosion. Somebody came with a bike.
Eyewitness Kamil Usman describes a suicide bomber who blew himself up this week, killing 2 people and wounding 14 outside a mosque in the northeastern Nigerian city of Gombe. This was the latest in a string of violent attacks blamed on the Islamist militant group Boko Haram. Although there was no claim of responsibility, the growing insecurity linked to the group has many worried.
What they have done with respect to the slaughter recently is a crime against humanity.
While visiting Bulgaria Thursday, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry referred to the group as one of the most evil terrorist entities on the planet.
Boko Haram continues to present a serious threat, not just to Nigeria and the region, but to all of our values and to all of our sense of responsibility regarding terrorism.
Nigerian government spokesman Mike Omeri said his country urgently needs more concrete support from abroad to fight the militants.
The United States, France, UK and so forth, and China offered to support. But most of those supports in terms of surveillance and tactical conversations or advice and so forth and so on. So we need to go beyond that.
Whitney Schneiderman is a non-resident fellow at the Brookings Institution.
At the end of last year, Nigeria said to the U.S., look, we really don't want your training. Nigeria wanted some of our helicopters. The U.S. said, we've got concerns about your human rights issues with your military. And the fact that we couldn't bridge that difference, I think, is a very sad commentary on a relationship that is probably one of the most important relationships in Africa.
Campaigning is in full swing as the country prepares for the February 14th presidential election. Analyst Sylvester Okere, a Nigerian living in the United States, says that people who plan to vote need to be confident they'll be safe.
The most important thing Nigerian community want is security and opportunity to strive. And without security, you can't strive. Without security, you can't have commerce. Without security, you can't even worship. You see, they attack churches and mosques. So without security, you can't go to school.
Satellite images released by Amnesty International this week show the devastation caused by Boko Haram in and around the town of Baga and illustrates how little security exists in certain parts of Nigeria less than a month away from the election. Mariama Diallo, VOA News, Washington.